from Kenya. She is a positive social change catalyst and an environmental activist. And she's founded the Soyina Foundation, which seeks to uplift historically marginalized and underrepresented populations through behavioral change. So, Anita, as a young Indigenous leader, what do you think are some of the effective ways we can encourage the passing on of traditional knowledge that Manuel and others have talked about this afternoon from elders to the younger generation?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to appreciate the Commonwealth for this platform that today I presented among dignitaries, including the Right Honorable SG of the Commonwealth. I think the first thing that we need to do is to acknowledge the role of Indigenous knowledge and traditional knowledge in solving different crises, not only climate-related issues. Most of the time, the Indigenous knowledge is looked at as outdated and not really acknowledged. So when we do that, yet science borrows a lot from Indigenous knowledge and do not acknowledge the same. So that alone discourages even young people from believing in Indigenous knowledge. At the Soyina Foundation, we have really witnessed the role of knowledge that we get from our elders. And I can give an example that in our restoration projects before, we focused a lot on tree planting activities. But then we got, in partnership with other youth-led organizations, we got to visit some arid and semi-arid regions to see what they have been practicing for restoration, which was different from tree planting, and that is farmer-managed natural regeneration. And since then, we had to change, and most of our restoration activities now are inclined towards the same. And this is because it's something that is not costly. It promotes indigenous trees that are, indigenous to the specific regions. And if we went to the communities and to the elders to teach them and not to learn from them, then we wouldn't be doing things differently. And as a young person who is also a digital sustainability influencer, I try to use my digital platforms to also share the same knowledge so that it reaches other young people from different areas. We organize activities where we allow young people to have conversations with the elders, and so that we are able to learn so much. Because of globalization and urbanization, we are losing our culture, we are losing the knowledge. And so I think it's also important that such knowledge is integrated to formal education. And in one of the counties that we visited in Kenya, that is called Homa Bay County, which is also one semi-arid, we got to realize that the school agriculture teacher was teaching the students the FMNR practice, which they went back home to teach their parents. And so that shows that it's really important to integrate this to our formal education so that young people can pick it up from a very young age. It's also great to recognize that exchange programs can be really important, where we move from one region to another region and get to learn what other people are doing in their own regions and maybe replicate that which can be replicated in our own regions. It is also important that young people are capacitated with knowledge and for them to really understand what we mean when we talk about indigenous knowledge and what we mean when we talk about traditional knowledge. And it's great if we also have courses, courses in universities and higher learning institutions so that we are able to get more knowledge on that. But I think what is important is to say that at least we are having these conversations, we are trying what we can, but also we need a lot of support for indigenous, locally led projects so that it can motivate, it can continue to motivate. And at the organization, for example, I'm the only leader from the Maasai community, and we get others from other regions. So apart from our community outreach personnel who come from the indigenous Maasai communities, we pick young people from other regions. So every time we carry out our activities, they also get to see and they get to learn and appreciate the resilience of the communities, because we don't just look at the challenges and the solutions that we have, but also appreciate the resilience. And to end this, I would say that to truly pass on traditional knowledge, we must create an ecosystem where elders feel valued and respected, youth feel empowered, and our communities work together to celebrate and preserve our shared heritage.